Yahawah, Brakathin Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Greetings to the hopeful legs, all the 12 tribes of Israel, the Israelite foreigners, and the sojourners, the strangers, who want to abide by the laws and statutes of the Most High. Okay, we're going to do this video. We're going to call it, we'll give you 24 references about unbelief and doubt to help you overcome doubting the word of Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahushai. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important, man. You have to believe, man. So let's start with Genesis, all right? Let's go book of Genesis, okay? And we'll go with chapter 17, all right? We'll start with verse 15. Let's get edified. Yahawah Elohim said to Abraham, "As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I will bless her, and moreover, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she will give raise to nations. Kings of the people shall come from her." Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said to him, "Can a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? Can Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child?" And Abraham said to Yahawah Elohim, "Oh, that Ishmael might live in your sight." Yahawah Elohim said, "No, but your wife Sarah shall bear you a son, and you shall name him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his offspring after him. As for Ishmael, I have heard you. I will bless him and make him fruitful and exceedingly numerous. He shall be father of 12 princes, and I will make him great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, from whom Sarah shall bear to you at this season next year." And when he had finished talking with him, Yahawah Elohim went up from Abraham. See, there you go, man. See, so you know what, the covenant was with us, not with Ishmael, not with the Ishmaelites. Okay, he gave him over to 12 princes, to the zodiac, man, to 12 constellations of the zodiac. You know, that's where they the heatens. Now, let's proceed. Let's go to next reference. Let's go to chapter 18, stay in Genesis. And let's start with verse 10. Then one said, "I will surely return to you in due season, and your wife Sarah shall have a son." And Sarah was listening at the tent entrance behind. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in age. It had ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, "After I have grown old, and my husband is old, shall I have pleasure?" Then Yahawah Elohim said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, Shall I indeed bear a child now that I am old? Is anything too wonderful for the Most High? At the said time I will return to you in due season, and Sarah shall have a son." But Sarah denied, saying, "I did not laugh, for she was afraid." And he said, "Oh, yes, you did." Okay, man, so see, our mother, man, our great-grandmother, she mocked, but, everything is possible in the Most High. You have to believe, Now let's continue. Let's go Genesis. Let's go another references. Let's go Genesis chapter 28, and let's go to verse 12. Okay. Okay. Here you go. Actually, yeah, verse 12. And he dreamed that this is Jacob, Jacob's ladder, and he dreamed. And he knew that there was a ladder set up on earth. The top of it reaches the heavens, and the angels of Yahawah Elohim were ascending and descending on it. And the Most High stood beside him and said, "I am Yahawah Elohim of Abraham your father, and the Most High of Isaac. And the land on which you lie I will give to you and to your offspring. And your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth, and you shall spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And all the families of the earth shall be blessed in you and your offspring. Know that I am with you, and I will keep you wherever you go. I will bring you back to this land, for I will not have leave you until I have done what I have promised you." Then Jacob woke up from his sleep and said, "Surely Yahawah Elohim is in this place, and I did not know it." And he was afraid, and he said, "How awesome is this place! This is none of other than the house of Yahawah Elohim, and this is the gate of the heavens." And so then Jacob rose up early in the morning, and he took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up for a pillar and poured oil on top of it. He called that place Bethlehem, the home of the Most High. But the name of the holy city was Luz at first. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, "If Yahawah Elohim will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go, I will give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, so that I come again to my father's house in peace. Then Yahawah Elohim shall be my father, and his stone, and this stone which I have set up for a pillar shall be the Most High's house, and of all that you give me, I surely will give 1/10 to you." See, man, that was the covenant, man, with the Heavenly Father right there. Let's go to Exodus chapter 14 and verse 14. And here you go. Actually, verse 10. And Pharaoh drew near, just like these Edomite demons and the powers that be are drawing near to the Israelites. The Israelites looked back, and there were the Egyptians advancing on them. In great fear, the Israelites cried out to the Most High. They said to Moses, Was it because there was no graves in Egypt that you have taken us away to die in the wilderness? What have you done to us bringing us out of Egypt? Is this not the very thing that we told you in Egypt? Let us alone and let us serve the Egyptians, for it would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. But Moses said to the people, Do not be afraid, stand firm and see the deliverance that Yahawah Elohim will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall never see again. Yahawah Elohim will fight for you, and you have only to keep still. Yeah, just hold steady fast. But see, just like back then and now, man, our people, they don't want to leave Egypt, man. They want to serve this place. They want to get vaccinated, chipped, They want to be coons. They want to be wicked, sellouts. So be it. Now let's go to Job, chapter 4, and let's go to third verse. See, you have instructed many, you have strengthened the weak hands, your words have supported those who were stumbling, and you have made firm the feeble knees. But now it has come to you, and you are impatient, and it touches you, and you are dismayed. Is not your fear of Yahawah Elohim your confidence, and the integrity of your ways your hope? Think now, who that was innocent ever perished, or where were the upright cut off? As I have seen, those who plot iniquity and sow trouble reap the same. By the breath of Yahawah Elohim they perish, and by the blast of his anger they are consumed. The roar of a lion, the voice of the fierce lion, and the teeth of the young lions are broken. See, there you go, man. See, you won't hold steady fast, man. It's easy for people to give advice but not follow their own advice. That's what pretty much saying there. Now, let's go to Psalms, man. Like I said, I love the book of Psalms, the way the house of David here. Okay, Psalms 55. My companion laid, we're going to take it from verse 20. My companion laid hands on the friend and violated covenant with me. With speech smothered at butter, but with a heart set on war. With words that were softer than oil, but in fact were drawn swords. Soothsayers, man. Cast your burden on Yahawah Elohim, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved, but you, O Yahawah Elohim, will cast them down into the lowest pit. The bloodthirsty treacherous shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in you. There you go. Put your faith not in the Egyptians and the man, but in the Most High, man. Have faith, don't doubt. Now let's go to Massali's Proverbs. Okay, and we're going to go to chapter 3, and let's go to verse 5. Trust in Yahawah Elohim with all your heart, and do not rely on your own insight. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your path. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Most High and turn away from evil. It will be healing for your flesh and refreshment for your body. See? And I'm going to finish it off here. Honor the Most High with your substance and with the first fruits of your produce. Then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. My child, do not despise the Most High's discipline, or be wary of his reproof. For Yahawah Elohim reproves the ones he loves, as a father the son in whom he delights. Yeah, man, so all these trials and tribulations is because you're a son of the Most High, and he don't want you being in the wicked ways that you're being, man. The people that are already going to die, he don't care about them, so he's letting them be. They're having their last hooray. All right, let's go to Yeshayahu, Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your Elohim. I will strengthen you, and I will help you. I will uphold you with my victorious right arm, which is my shot, Yahawah. Okay, so now let's proceed. All right, let's go to Matthew Yahu. Okay. Book of Matthew. Okay, let's see. Let's go Matthew. It's like if I'm missing. Okay, chapter 11. Okay, we're going to go chapter 11, verse 2. Yahawah answered them and said, Go and tell John what you hear and see. The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are raised, and the poor have good news brought to them. And blessed is anyone who takes no offense at me. Yahawah praises John the Baptist. As they went away, Yahawah began to speak to the crowd about John. What did you go out in the wilderness to look at? A reed shaken by the wind? What then did you go out to see? Someone dressed in the soft robes? Look, those who wear soft robes are in royal palaces. What then did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet. This is the one on whom it was written. See, I am sending my messengers ahead of you, who will prepare your way before you. Truly I tell you, among those born to women, no one has arisen greater than John the Baptist. Yet the least in the kingdom of the heavens is greater than the greatest on earth. From the days of John the Baptist until the kingdom of heaven, suffering violence, and violence take it by force. For all prophets and the law prophesied until it comes. And if you were willing to accept it, he is Elijah who is to come. Anyone with ears, listen. And so there you go, man. So, we have to be like John Baptist, man. We have to pave the way for Mashiach's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's go to Mark. And we'll go chapter 9. And we'll go verse 24. Okay? Immediately, okay, you know what? We're going to go, take it verse 17. Someone from the crowd answered him, saying, Adonai, I brought you my son. He has a spirit that makes him unable to speak. And whenever it seizes him, it dashes him down, and he lolls and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. And I asked your disciples to cast him out, but they could not do so. He answered them, You faithless generation, how much longer must I be among you? How much longer must I put up with you? Bring him to me. And they brought the boy to him in convulsion. And when the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy, and he fell on the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. See, man, what, like meth and marijuana and heroin, all these things make you foam at the mouth, what they call cotton mouth. See, it's spirits, man. It's sorcery. Yahawah asked the father, how long has it been happening to him? And he said, from childhood it has often cast him into fire and into the water to destroy him. But if you're able to do anything, have pity on us and help us. Mashiach Yahawah said to him, if you are able, all things can be done for the one who believes. Immediately the father of the child cried out, I believe, help my unbelief. Help my unbelief. When Yahawah saw that a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, You spirit that keeps this boy from speaking and hearing, come, I command you to come out of him and never enter him again. Afterward, after crying out and convulsing him terribly, it came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, He is dead. But Yahawah took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he was able to stand. When he had entered the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why couldn't we cast him out? And he said to them, This kind can come out only through prayer and fasting. See, there you go. See, man, so like, even, a lot of us are like this boy, a lot of people, a lot of humanity. But through him, he'll cast out, what I'm saying? Anything's possible if you believe. Now let's go to John, and go to chapter 19. And, let's go to chapter 19. Okay. Then Pilate took Yahawah and had him flogged. And the soldiers wore the crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they dressed him in a purple robe. They kept coming up to him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews, and striking him on the face. Pilate went out again and said to them, Look, I am bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no case against him. So Yahawah came out wearing the crowns of thorns and the purple robe. Pilate said to him, Here's this man. When the chief priests and the police saw him, they shouted, Crucify him, crucify him. Pilate said to him, Take him yourself and crucify him. I find no case against him. You know what I'm saying? And the Jews answered him, We have a law, and according to the law, he ought to die because he claims to be the Son of God. Now when Pilate heard this, he was more afraid than ever. He entered his headquarters. And again, he asked Yahawah, Where are you from? But Yahawah gave him no answer. Okay, man, so see, even that heat in Pilate was like afraid. He didn't want that blood of Mashiach on him, man. Got to be the Lord, man. Now let's proceed, man. Let's go to John. And let's go to chapter 20, verse 24. But Thomas, who was called the twin, one of the 12, was not with them when Yahawah came. So the other disciples told him, We have seen Adonai Mashiach. But he said to them, Unless I see the mark of nails in his hand, and put my fingers in the mark of the nails, and my hand in his side, I will not believe. A week later, his disciples were again in the house, and Thomas was with them, although the doors were shut. Mashiach Yahawah came and stood amongst them, and said, Peace be with you. Then he said, Thomas, put your fingers here and see my hands. Reach out your hand and put it in my side. Do not doubt, but believe. Thomas answered him, Mashiach Adonai, my Elohim. Yahawah said to him, Have you believed because you have seen me? Blessed are those who have seen and yet have come to believe. See, you have to have faith to believe it, man. Now let's go Book of Acts. And here you go, man. Chapter 1. Third verse. After his suffering, he presented himself alive to them in many convincing proofs, appearing to them during 40 days and speaking about the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim. He kept appearing to to the apostles. Now let's proceed with verse 15. In those days Peter stood up amongst the believers together. The crowd numbered about 112 persons, and said, "Friends, the scriptures have had to be fulfilled, which the Holy Spirit through David foretold concerning Judas, who became a guide for those who arrested Yahawah. For he was numbered amongst us and was allotted his share in the ministry. Now this man acquitted a field with the rewards of the wickedness, and falling headlong, he burst open the middle of all his bowls gushed out. This became known to all the residents of Jerusalem, so the field was called in their language Hakadama, that is, field of blood, for it's written in the book of Psalms. Let his homestead become desolate, and let there no one live in it. See, because Judah was wicked and unbelieving, man. He sold out Mashiach, man. See, man. Let's go to Acts. Okay, let's go to Acts chapter 14 and verse 15. There you go. Chapter 14 and verse 15. Like it, family. Friends, why are you doing this? Why are mortals just like you? And we bring you good news that you should turn from the worthless things to the living Elohim, who made heavens and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. In past generations he allowed all the nations to follow their own ways, yet he has not left himself without a witness. In doing good, give you rains from heaven and fruitful seasons, and filling you with food and your hearts with joy. Even with these words, they scarcely restrain the crowd from offering sacrifices to him. Basically, he ain't gonna give you salvation through Mashiach, man, and you still don't care, No belief, let's go to Acts 26. Indeed, the king knows about these things, and to him I speak freely, for I am certain that none of these things has escaped his notice, for this was not done in a corner. Yeah, man, so you've been watching, man, all lies in the world, man. Now let's go Romans chapter 10, verse 17. So faith comes from what is heard, and what is heard comes through the word of Adonai Mashiach Yahawah. But I ask, have they heard? Indeed they have, for their voice has gone out to all the earth, and their words to the ends of the world. Yeah, so this gospel has been spoken everywhere, so no one can say that, oh, I never heard it, no one ever told me. That you're damn lying, man. Okay, now let's go to 1 Corinthians. And let's go to chapter 15, verse 5. And that he appeared to Cephas, then to the 12 disciples. Then he appeared to more than 500 brothers and sisters at one time, most of whom are still alive, though some have died. Then he appeared to James, then to all the apostles. Last of all, as to one untimely born, he appeared also to me. That's Paul. For I am the least of the apostles, unfit to be called an apostle, because I persecute the church of Yahawah Elohim. But by the grace of the Almighty Most High, I am what I am, and his grace towards me has not been in vain. On the contrary, I work harder than any of them, though it was not I, but the grace of Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawah, that is with me. Whether then it was or I, they, so we proclaim, and so you have come to be believed. See, here we go, man. See? Paul, man, he was wicked, but then he got turned, man. Now let's go to 2 Corinthians and go to chapter 5 verse 7, man. And here you go, verse 7. Here you go. It's lucky, family. Here you go. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Yes, we do have confidence, and we would rather be away from the body and at home with the Most High. I'm saying through my Shak Yahawah. See? Now let's go to book of James, chapter 2. Actually, James chapter 1, 5th verse. If any of you is lacking in wisdom, ask Yahawah or Elohim, who gives to all generously and ungrudgingly, and it will be given to you. But ask in faith, never doubting. See? For the one who doubts is like the wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For the outdoor, being double-minded and unstable in every way, must not expect to receive anything from the Most High. So there you go. See? If you doubt, man, then you won't get nothing, man. Now let's see. Go to James chapter 2, verse 28. And here you go. Here you go. Here you go. For just as the body without the spirit is dead, so is faith without works is also dead. Yeah, man. Faith, you can't just be like, oh, I believe in him and have no works, man. That's dead, man. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing, man. And now let's finish it with Revelations. And here you go. Revelations chapter 3, verse 22. Let anyone who has ears listen to what the angel of the Most High is saying to the churches. There you go, man. Take heed to these words and understand, man, that, faith without works is nothing. And doubting and fearing comes from the enemy, man. You know what I'm saying? You have to hold steady fast and believe that Mashak Yahawah, you know what I'm saying, he's with us, man. So on that note, Shalom.